Hi, it's Mason Marsh. I want to talk today about outdoor clothing, specifically the type of clothing you should bring with you if you're going to be spending time making photographs outside in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, I spend a lot of time shooting out on the Oregon coast, but I do spend a good time shooting on the inland side of the state as well. And the advice I'm going to give you today is going to apply no matter where you are in the Northwest. And the number one tip I can give you is dress in layers. Always, always, always nice, loose, comfortable layers. So what I'm wearing today is a nice, simple outfit that I put together to be outside on a nice spring day. And almost always I'm wearing a hat. So we'll start there. Right now I've got a simple ball cap on. It's usually my hat of choice because it keeps the sun out of my face and it keeps the top of my head out of the sun and warm. Now, it's a common myth that you lose something like 90% of your body heat through the top of your head. It's actually not true at all, but it does help to have something on your dome if you're going to be outside shooting. I think the biggest advantage of having a hat is it is sun protection, but it is nice to have it there to keep the heat in as well. Now, most of the time I'm shooting with a ball cap, but sometimes I switch out to a wide-brimmed hat like this one. Now, the nice thing about wide-brimmed hats is they keep the sun off the back of your neck and your ears as well, but they kind of look goofy, right? I'm not going to pretend that this doesn't look silly. So on a really sunny, hot day, I might be wearing something like this to keep the sun off my head and my ears and my neck and my face and my nose. But this is not usually the hat I'm wearing. Now, a lot of times I'm putting on a hat just to stay warm, not to protect myself from the sun, because the sun isn't always out here in the Northwest. And so a lot of times I'm wearing a stocking cap. And this is a basic wool hat. It's still going to work if it's wet. And it doesn't give me any sun protection for my face, but really its job is just to keep my head warm and my ears warm. So if I'm shooting out at night and things like this, I'm almost always wearing a stocking cap. Now, moving down from your head, next thing you're going to want to have is a good outer jacket. Now, this is my latest jacket, and I love jackets. I almost have as many jackets as I have camera bags. And this jacket is a Vertx smock. Now, it's a tactical jacket. It's made by a company that makes clothing for soldiers. And I find that one of the things that is nice about tactical clothing designed for military folks is it has a lot of things in common with what we want as photographers. Number one, we like something that's durable. This is a nice, tough jacket. It's made out of a Cordura nylon, and it's got a waterproof coating, so it's going to work in most rain conditions. It's not Gore-Tex. It's not a breathable jacket, but it's lightweight enough, and it's got pit zips and things like that, that in most cases it's going to work fine in light to moderate rain. The reason I love it is it's loaded with pockets. It's got big, huge pockets on the chest. I can put lenses and speed lights and filters in these front pockets. It's got pockets on the sleeves for small items. It's got big hand warmer pockets. Now these, I think, were one of the big selling points of this jacket. These are fleece-lined hand warmer pockets. The people who made this jacket understand that soldiers spend a lot of time standing around. Well, so do photographers. So having a place to put your hands where they're out of the wind and they can warm up and stay dry is critical. And I can't emphasize enough how important good hand pockets are in a jacket. Now, some bonus pockets on this jacket include some here on the side. I've got a Leatherman in this one, but I could put my cell phone in here or other small tools, flashlights, things like that. And then there's some really big pockets on the back. I could put a camera body or extra lenses back here, water bottles, things like that. This jacket really is a camera bag with sleeves, and I love that. And so this is going to be my go-to jacket, I'm pretty sure, for most of my photography. But as the day heats up, this black jacket is going to get to become uncomfortable. So I might switch out to something a little bit more lightweight. Now, if it were really stormy and rainy, this jacket isn't a breathable, waterproof jacket. So I might be switching this out for a rain shell. So the shell that I've got here to show you is one of my favorite rain shells. I have a lot of them. They're kind of like cameras. You can't have too many, right? This one is an REI jacket, and it's event fabric, which is a form of a waterproof breathable membrane. And this particular jacket's very lightweight. Its entire job is to keep rain off of me. Now, it's breathable, highly breathable. And here's something to keep in mind when you're dealing with really rainy conditions. you're going to get wet. There are openings in every jacket. Here at the bottom of the sleeves, I'm taking photographs. Water's going to run down here. Even if I tighten these cuffs up all the way, some water's going to sneak in, especially around the neck. Up here, even if I'm wearing the hood, water's going to get in down into my jacket. It's going to find its way in maybe through the pockets. It's going to find its way in somehow. And my underlayers are going to get a little bit damp. And if I'm out moving around, I'm also going to be perspiring. I'm going to be sweating. And I want to be able to move that moisture back away from my skin and get it out of here. And so what I'm trying to do with a jacket like this is create a microclimate, is what they call it. And what it is I'm going to be generating enough heat with my body to vaporize any water molecules that are in my clothing and push them through the membrane of this jacket. And the pores in the membrane do a really good job of keeping water off, but letting water escape from the inside. And that's the key. So you want a good Gore-Tex shell type jacket. There are a lot of waterproof jackets out there that aren't breathable, and you're going to find that you're going to get pretty moist on the inside, and there's going to be nowhere for that moisture to go. So I really encourage a waterproof membrane jacket. So this is one that is usually a pretty good deal too. REI has a good deal on these. I'm also a big fan of Patagonia shells, and these are what we call hard shells. Their job is to keep rain off and allow moisture to escape. Now underneath this jacket, I've just got a button-down shirt on, but if it were a pretty cold day, I would probably have an insulating piece between my shirt and my jacket. And this is one of the insulating pieces I use a lot. This is a Patagonia fleece jacket. It's just simple fleece, very breathable. It allows air to pass right through. It's not windproof at all. So on a windy day like today, it's not going to keep me incredibly warm. But underneath the shell, it really does get toasty. And so this, I love this fleece jacket. On a non-windy day, it can work well as an outer garment, like a sweater. And so this is just a Patagonia fleece jacket. Big fan of this coat. Another option for insulation is either down or a polyester fill. And this is an REI jacket that's filled with a synthetic insulation that's a fiber. So it's like down, but if it gets wet, it'll still work. Down, when it gets wet, it clumps up and it doesn't help you out at all. It gets to be kind of messy. But this synthetic piece works pretty well when wet. And so I've actually worn this on as an outer layer at times and gotten into some pretty decent rainfall with it, and it's worked pretty well as a shell as well as an insulator jacket. And so I wear this a lot. It's also got nice pockets, keep my hands warm, keep a cell phone, things like that safe. So the shell insulating piece is a great investment. This is an REI Revel Cloud jacket, but the other one that I'm a big fan of is the Patagonia Nano collection, which they have nano puff pullovers, jackets, and hoodies. Really cool stuff. So underneath my insulation, I've got a long sleeve shirt. Now this is the layer that I'm going to spend most of the afternoon in, because especially on the Oregon coast, it's always windy. And I like to have something over my skin to protect me from the wind. Plus, it's a sunscreen layer for me. I don't like wearing suntan lotion or sunscreen, so I use clothing to do that job. And so I usually have on a long sleeve shirt. This is an REI Sahara shirt, I believe it's what it's called. It's Supplex nylon, so if it does get wet, it's going to dry very nicely. It breathes very well, and it's pretty durable. It's also got some nice pockets, and like I said, it's long sleeves, so I can wear it in the sun. It's going to act as a sunscreen for me. Underneath, I've got just a cotton t-shirt, and most of the time I'm wearing a cotton t-shirt. If it's not an especially rainy, stormy day, this is the type of shirt I'm going to wear. Here's why. It's comfortable, it's soft, it's warm, it's cozy, and I like that. The problem is cotton, if it gets wet, it tends to stay wet. And so on a rainy day, I'm going to skip from a cotton shirt over to a synthetic shirt. And this is an REI underlayer. I'm not sure what they call it. But it's basically just a smooth polyester shirt, and its job is to move moisture from my skin out to the outer layers of my garment where it'll evaporate off. So it won't hold water. In fact, this dries incredibly fast. If this were soaking wet, I could snap it a few times, hold it up in the wind, and it's going to be dry in just a couple of minutes. It's that fast drying. So I love that on cold, rainy days. Now another shirt I wanted to show you, in addition to this REI style shirt, another shirt that I like a lot is, this is a Patagonia nylon shirt. This one's really lightweight. So on a really hot day, I'll switch over from this shirt, which is kind of a heavier nylon, to a lighter weight nylon, but it still has the long sleeves. And one thing I really like about it is it's got a ventilation panel on the back, so it's going to allow me to sweat and cool off while still wearing a nice protective shirt. So there you go. So that's the upper part. Down on my legs here today I'm wearing a pair of Vertx pants. Now this is the same company that makes that black jacket I showed you. I really like these pants. This is pretty much the only kind of pants I wear anymore unless it's really raining. So if it were pouring down rain, I'm going to pull on, over the top of these pants, I'm going to pull on a pair of Gore-Tex pants. And these are Patagonia torrent shell pants. These are rain pants that are designed to hold off a deluge. You could hit me with a fire hose with these on and they're not going to leak. Really are wonderful pants, but the problem with these is it gets pretty warm. You have rain pants on over regular pants, it gets pretty toasty. So I only wear these on really, really rainy days. If it's lightly raining, I'm probably going to go with the pants that I've got on. And the Vertx pants, the thing I like about them is even though they're cotton, they have a coating on them that will shed off some light rain, so they won't get soaked out fast. Here's my big tip. Don't wear jeans. If there's any chance that it's gonna rain, you do not want to be wearing jeans. Jeans get wet and they do not dry. They will not dry on your body. You'll have to take them to a dryer to get them to dry. So I prefer lighter weight pants that are either a lighter weight cotton that will dry, or even better yet, nylon or something that's still going to give you durability and protection from the sun, but also dry quickly. Some of my favorites are Arc'teryx makes some really nice pants that I have. They're pretty expensive, but they're nice. I'm also a big fan of Patagonia, again, makes some great nylon pants that are designed for everyday use. They're not a rain shell. They're what we call trekking pants. Now, these pants have big pockets on them, so that's one of the pluses. I like pockets. These pockets have little flaps. I can stick filters and things down in here and they won't fall out. If I'm down on my hands and knees on the beach taking photos, I don't want to have stuff falling out of my pockets. So these are my favorites. This is a Vertx pant, but I gotta be honest, most of the year here in the Northwest, I don't like to wear pants. Here's why. Especially when I'm out on the Oregon coast, I tend to get out in the water. And if I'm out in the surf, I don't want to be wearing pants and shoes. I'm going to be wearing sandals and shorts. Now, some people wear waders because the water is cold. I find that the waders get to be pretty cumbersome and pretty warm. So most of the time I'm just wearing a pair of shorts. And these are Vertx shorts, so they're just like the pants, but in a short version. They've got big cargo pockets on the side, very comfortable. These are very quick drying. So these are my favorites. Vertx shorts, they're quick drying. They're a poly cotton blend, so they're still fairly comfortable. Some people like to wear the pants that have the legs that zip off. I'm not a big fan of those, but I think those are fine. Especially on the coast, it allows you to go from the morning where it's nice and cold to the afternoon where it gets hot, and you can unzip the legs, take them off, and you've got shorts on. So for me, some days that's one of those things I end up swapping out in the hotel, going from pants to shorts. But if I'm going to be out in the surf, I'm wearing shorts, and that's means I'm bundled up on the top to stay warm, and I'm freezing from the waist down, but that's the price you pay to get out in the water and get some cool photos there. And down on my feet I'm wearing Keen tennis shoes. These are mid-top tennis shoe. They're not like a knee-high boot. I think those get to be a little bit too warm for my feet. So I like having a shoe that's kind of lightweight, breathable, easy to walk in. I spend a lot of time walking, spend a lot of time on your feet when you're taking photographs, and so it's good to have comfortable, protective shoes. And I like Keens because they are waterproof. They have a waterproof membrane. They're durable, and they have good toe protection. They have a nice big toe bumper, so I'm always tripping over logs and rocks and things like that. It's nice to have the toe protection. And my sandals are also Keens. These are the Keen sandals. One of the trademarks of the Keen sandals is the toe protection. Last thing I want to be walking around with as a photographer is a pair of flip-flops, right? You want to have something that allows you to be sure-footed, especially if you're going to be walking around on rocks, in a river or out on a beach. So these are like tennis shoes, but they allow allow the water to drain away from my feet, allow my feet to stay somewhat dry when I'm not actually in the water. So in the summertime, these are the shoes I wear the most. In the wintertime, I'm wearing Keen shoes, lace-up shoes. So underneath my shoes, I'm wearing socks, and I think the only kind of socks to wear are merino wool. And these are Keen socks, but REI, Patagonia, all these companies make really nice merino wool socks. Do not wear cotton socks. They will get wet. Your feet do sweat a lot. Your socks will get wet. That's how you get blisters. That's how you get miserable. If your feet aren't comfortable, you're not comfortable, you're probably not thinking about making good photos. You're probably thinking about getting back to the hotel room where you can warm up, and you're probably not going to make your greatest photos in the hotel room, I would think. So please keep in mind these basic things. I'm going to add a couple more things to the list. Number one, sunglasses. A lot of photographers forget these because they don't wear them when they're taking photos, but I am a big fan of sunglasses. I have very sensitive eyes, and having a pair of sunglasses allows you to keep your eyes protected from the sun. And then when I'm taking photos, I just simply put them up on my hat or put them in my jacket pocket or somewhere like that. I'm a big fan of Oakley sunglasses. I think they make a very great high quality product. I've used Oakley's for years, never had a problem. So I've always got a pair of sunglasses with me. And last but not least, this is photographer's best friend, a pair of gloves. At night, out taking photographs on the beach or in the mountains, your hands are going to freeze, so you need a good pair of gloves. These are a Patagonia fleece glove, but they have a leather palm, which allows me to use my camera gear with some pretty good dexterity. Now these aren't the most thin, easy to use gloves out there, but when it's really windy and cold, you want a nice thick glove. You might on most days get away with a thinner glove, like a liner type glove, and I'm a fan of those as well. And the pair of gloves that I actually have in my camera bag here, these are here in my camera bag all the time, ready to go. It's the only piece of clothing I carry with me all the time in my camera bag. And these are Patagonia R1 gloves, and these are actually made out of neoprene. They're made out of wetsuit material. And the thing I love about these gloves is they're waterproof. I can wear them in the rain, my hands aren't going to get wet. They are incredibly warm, and they allow me to handle the most delicate tasks with my fingers. So a lot of photographers, you'll see them pulling their gloves off to work on their cameras and putting them back on, or they have the ones with the kind of mitten comes over the fingers, or the fingertips are cut off. Those are all fine, there's nothing wrong with those, but I have found nothing beats these gloves for photography. They are super comfortable and really durable, really wonderful, and so they live in my camera pack. Along with the stocking cap. There's usually a stocking cap in there as well. So that's it. Just real quick, remember, wear loose, comfortable layers, have a shell that's going to protect you from the wind, and have layers underneath that you can adapt to changing conditions, but will also keep you dry if you get wet. So there you have it. I hope to see you out on the beach or in the mountains soon, and have a great day.